Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome Deputy Mayor Morley and Deputy Mayor Malik here.
All the deputies.
And Deputy Mayor me, okay. Anyways, good afternoon. My name is Councillor Mike Cole, and I am the chair of the FIFA World Cup 2026 Subcommittee. We have quorum, and I'm now calling meeting 4 to order. Welcome, everyone. Today's meeting is being held by video conference and in person at City Hall in Committee Room 2. This meeting is also being live streamed online at youtube.com/Toronto City Council Live. I'll do the land acknowledgement. Although we may be meeting in different locations today, the committee would like to acknowledge that the land we are meeting on is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. We also acknowledge that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13 with the Mississaugas of the Credit. Members of City Council have been provided all agenda materials on toronto.ca/council and on CMP, the clerk's meeting portal. Clerk's IT staff are available to members if you need help with your devices. I also want to remind you to please submit and approve your motions by email. Staff are available at exec@toronto.ca to help with motions. Are there any declarations of interest under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act? Being none, we will proceed. May I have a motion to confirm the minutes from the meeting on March 18th, 2025? Moved by Councillor Malik. All in favor? Carried. Now I have a new business item still, right, that I'm going to submit a little later.
Yeah, we have it there.
Oh, you got it now?
Yes.
Yeah, what it is we're just trying to get updated information on the federal and provincial governments' FIFA World Cup contributions, just to keep council and this committee appraised of the contributions that have been committed to by the federal and provincial government. There's a bit of a nuance. Oh, yeah, do you want to move to add it as new business? Moved by Councillor Morley, second by Councillor Malik. All in favor? Carried. Yeah, and as I was saying, basically there's a bit of a nuance that we need to have, I think, more details on. The staff is going to do that, and we're going to report it directly to council.
Yeah, I have a motion for you to move once. We do item 1 first, and then we'll decide.
Okay, so that's fine. So we're, I will hold that item down so members will have time to review it. The first item on the agenda is FWC 4.1 FIFA World Cup Toronto Procurement Plan Update. There is also a staff report with recommendations. Do members of the committee have any questions of staff on this procurement update? Deputy Mayor Malik.
Thank you very much, and I do appreciate the update and understanding some of the revisions. We also know that this is a pretty uncertain and volatile time when it comes to costs, escalations, and you know, unforeseen circumstances that are not necessarily of our making, but are definitely impacting us here in Toronto across many different sectors and fronts. Do we anticipate, or is there a preparation for any kind of future adjustments that that might come from the uncertainty and volatility that we're experiencing, especially when it comes to supply chains and procurement?
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, I can say that the team are reviewing procurements and costs on a regular basis. We're working with all of our suppliers to make sure that we can keep costs within budget, as stated. And so we will continue to monitor that closely, including looking at ways that we could perhaps reduce scope, and look for vendors and companies that are based here in Canada, of course, which is the priority of the city. So we are doing that, and we'll continue to do that going forward.
And then just wanted to hear about the progress that's being made around the funding gap that is being tackled right now. And I know that there's a plan to secure additional funding through a number of methods and kind of diversifying our approach, and just wanting to hear a little bit more about the status of that.
Yes, thank you. Through the chair, in terms of the gap, we noted a number of different areas that we were looking at filling that gap. Of course, one is making sure that we reduce costs wherever we can. The second is around the Champions Table and our fundraising efforts regarding the Soccer for All Legacy program, and happy to say that's progressing very well. There's been a number of positive meetings with our Champions Table members. They're bringing a number of prospects forward for people to make philanthropic donations. So we have a couple of reports of some some donations coming in, and we'll be reporting on those in our June report to Council.
Okay. Yes, just one thing that I learned in the briefing is that, if you could explain, we are one of how many cities that are part of the FIFA World Cup in North America?
We are one of 16 host cities.
Now, of those 16 host cities, are we the only one that's basically government-led or public sector-led?
Ourselves in Vancouver, the two Canadian host cities, are the two of the 16 that are government-led.
So the other ones, Atlanta, et cetera, how are they led? By whom or what?
Yeah, there's a variety of models, governance models across the 16 cities. Some are getting funding through private. They're part of their private sport stadium. Others through their sport commissions within their cities. Some are getting government funding, but certainly not to the extent of the two Canadian cities.
Okay, and the other thing about procurement, I was just wondering if we could just get a bit of a global update on what's happening with two of our major infrastructure procurements, and that is the increase in seating capacity at the soccer field. What's happening with that?
So that capital project is proceeding at the stadium. There's been significant work done over the course of sort of late winter, now early spring. A lot of the work that was required for indoor has been completed. We're making great progress on the north end of the stadium, sort of foundational work that needs to be done. And then the next phase will be more work both on the south end and the north end regarding specifically the temporary seating.
Yes, and so that is on schedule, the work to be done at the stadium?
Yeah, I would say we're perhaps a little bit behind on some of the work on the north end, but the team are in the process of putting together a detailed plan to sort of pick up on that timing and make some strides with some extra hours, some extra shifts with some of the work that needs to be done.
Okay, and then what about the 10 mini soccer pitches we are building across the city? Where are we with the soccer pitches?
So that's part of our Soccer for All Legacy program, and we are proceeding with that. It's in the hands of CREM and Parks and Rec, who are moving forward on that. The locations have been identified, and CREM are in the process now of working on the procurement, which we got approval to move forward with. So it's selecting a vendor and working with a design firm to design the pitches and find the right locations in the areas that we've identified and move forward with a procurement for the actual mini pitch kits, if you will.
Okay, and those mini pitches will again be operational once the games begin?
That is our aim. We'd like to have the mini pitches complete before the World Cup starts.
And then they'll continue to be a community asset going forward?
That is correct. Part of the arrangement that we've made now and the funding that we are securing through the Champions Table includes programming and maintenance.
Okay, so not only be the physical infrastructure, but there'll be some programming money that's allocated to ensure that they're utilized.
That is correct. Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of now the other, I don't know if it comes under procurement, but announced that the Fan Fest is going to be held in Fort York, right?
That is correct.
And the Bentway.
Correct.
And what kind of, is there infrastructure work to be required to make those sites fan-friendly?
No permanent infrastructure, but we have gone out in the week prior with an RFP for an event manager to manage both the operations side and the programming side of FanFest. So we'll be working closely with the folks at Fort York and the Bentway to deliver on our FanFest plans.
Now, those locations, because the FIFA is going to go on for about a month, right? So with the locations, the Fort York and the Bend, will they be open to the public every day, or what's the global plan on that?
Yeah, right now the big picture plan is to be open for as much of the full tournament as possible. So from mid-June, our kickoff date, June 11th, June 12th here in Toronto, to the end of the tournament, and the championship match is on July 19th. We will see sort of budget and planning permitting. We'd like to be as open as often as possible. But until we get the event manager in place and start getting very specifics on costing and programming details, we'll be determining the specific number of days and hours of those days that will be open.
Will there be a fee for a fan to participate, get into the Fort York Stadium, Fort York?
We will not have a fee to get in. It will be free for the public to access. We probably will have to have in some place some sort of free ticketing process so that we can manage crowd size, but there will not be a cost to access FanFest.
Okay, and in terms of the, just thinking of other activities, what if there are different neighborhoods in Toronto that want to participate in the games? What do they have to do to be given that green light to be participants?
Mm-hmm. So we're working with EDC, our colleagues in EDC, on a plan around community events and community celebrations, including public viewing events. And we'll be reporting a more fulsome report on that for our June council report.
Oh, and then you mentioned that day, it's frightening, it's June 12th?
June 12th is our 2026 is our first match here in Toronto.
So are we going to have an event marking when we're a year away?
We are, yes. We have extensive plans for some promotion and celebration for the year, celebrating our 1 year to kick off.
Okay, so the June 12th coming up this year, we're going to do something to mark the fact we're a year away.
That is correct.
Okay, that's all I have for questions. Yes, Mayor Morley?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Just a quick one, and forgive me if there's not too much to tell just yet, but with respect to the outstanding funding pieces, the profit sharing for merchandise related to FIFA, can we talk in public about some of the details of that profit sharing agreement? Has it been solidified? And then my second question to that is, how soon before the tournament itself would we begin to sell merchandise so we can start to understand what some of the impact of that profit might look like?
Yeah, no, exciting. You'll be the first in line to get your shirt, I'm guessing.
For sure.
So I can't give specifics on the actual percentage right now, but we can report on that in a subsequent council report. Happy to do so.
Thank you.
I will say that we are getting a percentage of all the Toronto-specific merchandise that is sold. And so we're very excited about that and see that as a great opportunity to build on our revenue strategy. In terms of timing, my understanding is that there should be merchandise in some Toronto locations very soon.
Amazing.
I think they're looking at having some items available over the course of this summer, again, leading into that sort of 1 year excitement and build up. But we can try and report on that in our report going to council in June.
That would be helpful. Thank you so much.
Yep.
That's all for me, Mr. Chair.
People keep asking me for scarves and stuff, and they're not asking for tickets, but I have no tickets. No tickets. Okay. Anyways, are there any further questions on the item number 1?
I'm happy to move receipt, yeah.
Okay, moved by Deputy Mayor Morley. All in favor of approving the report? Carried. Okay. Now we move to the second item on our agenda is FWC 4.2, recommendation to report the status of funding from the federal and provincial governments for the FIFA World Cup 26. Yes, so this is my motion again. The Executive Committee requests the Executive Director of FIFA World Cup 2026, Toronto Secretariat, to report directly to the May 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 2025 meeting of City Council on the status of intergovernmental funding related to hosting the FIFA World Cup in Toronto. So that's my motion, that we ask for this information on the update to the federal provincial funding to be brought directly to council. Okay.
Just a question for you, Mr. Chair, on that, and very much support the motion. But just in terms of timing, it does call for a report tomorrow to executive. I guess that would then flow through to council.
No, we're not. We decided because they need a bit of time to prepare it. Instead of going, as originally thought, going to executive, we're going to ask that we go directly to council so they get a bit more time to prepare.
Okay, I'm just refreshing my CMP because I think I still have the original draft, but that's great and happy to support in that regard. I was gonna, if not, ask if there was enough time before tomorrow for staff to get back to us, but it sounds like you've already worked that through. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yes. So that'll be going directly to council, an update on the nuances.
This item will be transmitted to Executive Committee tomorrow. Executive Committee will recommend that the item be reported directly to council because we can't report directly to council.
Okay, it's up to recommendations from executive tomorrow. Okay. Someone want to move the motion?
You moved your motion, so you just have to vote on it.
All in favor of my motion? That's carried.
That's it.
That's it. Any other items for the good of FIFA? Adjournment's been moved by Deputy Mayor Morley. This committee stands adjourned. Thank you very much.